Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to go over a couple of things that I've been doing to try to get as much energy and gold each day as I possibly can. And it has to do with how we're using the ponage points and scrolls and all that kind of stuff. So first thing, we'll go into my dungeon. And now that I've actually got quite a few scrolls going on a regular basis, I'm pulling in somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 a day. Usually about 2,500, maybe a little more. I've found that it's actually pretty useful for me to trade in 500 scrolls here for 250,000 gold. So it's not for everybody, but it's working out really well for me. I've been doing this every day for a little while. If you think about it, you do 500 scrolls here, you effectively have enough to do like 25 Great Summons rolls. So if you could do this twice, you'd have 50, and you're going to get half as many tokens out of that because you're guaranteed 5 gold chests each time. So if you did this twice every day, you would get 25 tokens guaranteed every single day. It's a lot of tokens. And if you compare that towards the honor summons, you're probably not going to be getting as many tokens out of that, although you do get some heroes that you don't have access to otherwise. So as I come closer up to being able to max out everybody, I want to try to break it up so that I can get as much gold in as I can as well. I'm also more gold limited now than probably anything else in terms of I've got enough XP potions to bring up characters much more quickly than the speed at which I can bring up their skills. So I'm really limited on the gold and trying to bring that up, and this seems to be one of the more efficient ways to do that. So I'm going to go ahead here. While I'm in here, I'll talk about Ella for just a minute. Ella's a really great character. It is hard to get her up to higher star levels without dumping an enormous amount of scrolls. I do suggest using your scrolls on the honor summons first before trying to get her. I would push that off to one of the later things. You can get her early on, so you can use her for as just another fodder character for the Tower of Ponage, and maybe even get her up to the 2-star level. That's what I've done at this point. But I would hold off on dumping a whole lot of scrolls in until you've got more of your other characters up to higher levels. Alright, then I'll go into the Tower of Ponage. Let that pull up here. If there was one thing I could ask them to do, it would be to make these screen transitions faster. It seems like I spend a lot of the game just waiting for screen transitions because I'm popping through so many different things. If you go to the pawn shop here, one of my favorite purchases, so you're going to use up a whole lot of these trophies if you get individual evos, like this Crypt Evo here, and if you really need it, then it's worthwhile, but otherwise there can be a lot of problems doing it that way, or you just use up a lot all at once. If you can use your tokens for, or you can use your trophies here to get some of these, like Archangel Emily or IGOROK when they come up, if you're trying to work someone up to that next level. I think I mentioned in some recent videos I was getting close to that 5-star level for IGOROK, so if I'm going to push myself over on one of them, then that's a great place to use it. Otherwise, I'm kind of holding out, trying to save up as many as I can, just for a longer term goal. Whether that means I'm going to be able to bring up Archangel Emily to that next level, we'll see, as I get more and more of these trophies. But one of my favorite things to do every day is this 50 stamina for 700 trophies. Basically, we've got an IGOROK event going right now, so you can get a lot of tokens for the latest hero. So you can get tokens for IGOROK, you can also get tokens for Ice Bloom, the latest hero that they're releasing. And so energy can go a long ways, and it feels like that's a pretty decent price. Now the next thing, I mentioned this in the comments on one of the videos. I think I mentioned it as well, really briefly, but didn't say too much. If you go in here, you can actually do it in the honor shop as well. Let's go to specials, there we go. So you can refresh stock, and this actually applies to everything. It applies to the honor shop, it applies to this shop, and I believe it applies to the pawn shop as well. So if you go ahead and do this one, refresh for 20 gems, that's just a tiny amount compared to what we're bringing in for the Tower of Ponage each day. I'm going to go back to my dungeon, go to the honor shop, and again we could have done it here as well. And then I'll spend another 500 scrolls to get even more gold. So that's now 500,000 gold just from those two. Took 1,000 scrolls, but we're bringing scrolls in so quickly that it's not as important anymore. That gold is really important for us. And then we'll go back over to the Tower of Ponage. Now, a lot of times I do this at 2 different times in the day, so I don't go over my energy cap. But I would go back over as well and hit that up for another 50 stamina. I'm actually going to hold off on that since I probably can't use them as quickly. I'm going to try to go through the event. I'll be using the most of my energy on the event right now. And it takes a little while to go through there, so I don't want to waste any energy, so I won't quite do that yet. But I just wanted to share that method. I know some different people have talked about it. That's a pretty efficient way to get a whole lot of energy and a lot of gold as well every day. That's pretty sustainable. You're still going to be bringing in a net, 1,000 or 2,000 more scrolls every day, even after you spend that 1,000, at least once you get up to max level. And then also for the Tower of Ponage, you'll spend like 1,400 of the Ponage points, but you can bring in many, many more than that if you're completing the tower each day. So I've been doing it just about every day and using, basically having access to a whole lot more energy and gold. So that's it. That's it for me. Just wanted to share that with everybody. I hope that's helpful. Again, not for everybody, depending on where you're at in the game, but for right now, that extra gold is really helping out and the energy to help work towards those heroes. Thanks again. We'll see everyone soon.